Nancy put a small pot on the table, grabbed a fork, and speared a scallop. She held it up for everyone to see. This is one of the most famous bivalves of the sea. Did you know that the part we eat is actually the mussel? Fascinating and delicious. She dropped the scallop back into the pot. You'll have 30 minutes to create a scallop entree with an accompanying sauce. The pantry will be open for the entire length of the challenge, so don't worry if you forget something. You can go back. Chef Nancy handed each team a small glass bowl and sent them back to their workstations. Oliver and Ray will work at Ray's workstation, and Caroline and Tate will work at Tate's workstation. Caroline nudged Tate and held out the bowl. Look, only 3 scallops per team. No room for mistakes. As soon as everyone was ready, Chef Nancy gave the signal to start. Let's get cooking. Oliver quickly tossed salt and pepper onto the scallops. Have you cooked these before? Ray shook her head. He reached for the frying pan. Don't worry, I got this. Ray scowled. This was going to be a disaster. They were just starting and already Oliver was bossy. Chef Nancy waved her arms. And one more thing. The room fell silent. You must work together and divide up the work evenly. I'll be watching you. Oliver stopped, put the pan down, and turned to Ray. If he wanted to win, he had to let her help. He forced a smile. We should work together. Do you have any ideas for the sauce? Ray was surprised, but not too surprised to contribute. This was her chance. How about a lemon butter crema? Oliver thought for a second, then nodded. Simple and tangy, but what about adding some basil? It'll give it a little more flavor, but not so much that it overpowers the scallops. Ray agreed. She tried scallops before, and they were pretty mild. Chef Nancy checked in while Ray was zesting a lemon. Any special strategies? Oliver picked up a cutting board. Scallops cook fast, so we're leaving that until the end. Right now, we're both working on the sauce. I'm helping with the prep. Like chopping these. Ray tossed 3 shallots across the counter. Oliver caught them with one hand. Chef Nancy nodded. Good teamwork. Keep cooking. 3 steps later, she breathed a sigh of relief. Her plan was working. Watching the carrots didn't make them roast any faster, but Tate couldn't help it. He checked the oven every 30 seconds. They were critical to the recipe. Chef Nancy peeked over his shoulder. What's cooking? Tate didn't look up. Not these super slow roasting carrots. When you have a time limit, you have to think creatively. I used the Bernoulli cut to make our carrots smaller so they would roast quicker. Roasted carrots have a sweet caramelized taste. It's worth the extra effort, even though they'll end up in a puree. Okay, up at the key idea. So how does Ray feel about Oliver at the start of the challenge? Why? It's at the start of the challenge. Analyze character. In paragraph 25, the text says that Oliver forced a smile at Ray. Why does Oliver do this? The text says that when you have a time limit, you need to think creatively. Why do you think this is useful advice for the chefs?